Hudson County View live at Uncut, and I'm your host, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the women's pet, the men's regret, where what you see is what you get and what you don't is better yet. John Arhitis, excited, happy, delighted, thrilled to be back from summer break. Of course, this is our first one of the new quote-unquote season, so let's dive right into it. First of all, we got a lot of news coming out of CarePoint Health. Of course, that's the health system provider for the Bayonne Medical Center, Hoboken University Medical Center, and Christ Hospital in Jersey City. Last week, their volunteer board voted on financial restructuring, and a lot of people believe that that's going to lead to them eventually declaring Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And we're going to dive into that and what the moving parts look like there. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about 2025. Obviously, in Jersey City, things are starting really early, and that trend has been continuing. And former Governor Jim McGreevey, a Democrat, is going to attend a fundraiser next week that is hosted by Ocean County Republican Chairman George Gilmore. Of course, he had a $1 million tax fraud case, and in Donald Trump's last day in office, back in 2021, he actually pardoned Gilmore. He will be one of the co-hosts of that event over in Bayville on September 25th. So a lot of interesting notes there. So we're going to compare them and go over what's happening in the mayoral race. Also going to talk about a rare story out of Secaucus, where a former part-time DPW laborer and driver is claiming that he was called homophobic slurs and told to man the F up, and it didn't say F, when he got and eventually got terminated after they would not accommodate his injury sustained on the job. And today, I'm going to be sitting down with a guest out of Jersey City, and he's the Journal Square Community Association President, Tom Zuppa. All that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Hudson County View live on Uncut, John Arhitis. So let's dive into what's happening with CarePoint. So as I just mentioned to you guys a few moments ago, on Wednesday their board met. They approved a resolution where they basically said we're going to explore financial restructuring, which includes Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And you know, let's dive into that. So first things first, right? Now, I spoke to Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop. Of course, there's three key mayors here, and he had a lot to talk about. He said, I am not supportive of bankruptcy as proposed by CarePoint, as without appropriate bridge financing during the bankruptcy process, in addition to guarantees from the governor's office, neither of which exist today, and the risk for Hoboken and Christ Hospitals closing permanently is too high. That's what he told me last week. If Christ Hospital and Hoboken were to close, even under the pretense that it is temporary, they would no longer be grandfathered in as hospitals based on previous NJ rules, would likely never reopen as they would never have to apply based on current 2024 hospital rules, which are onerous. Now, of course, Phil Phillips also a Democratic candidate for governor, and if he gets in, you know, maybe that's something he would change, but, you know, that's here nor there at the moment. And, you know, we emphasize that there is a serious risk of permanent closure here, which CarePoint, through a spokesman, pushed back on. And they said right now that there is no danger, there's no plan to close anything. But with that said, related, reporting, I guess point of order would probably be a better word to use there, is there's this thing in New Jersey called warn notices, and they're just what they sound like. They go out to employees 90-day notice without prior to a potential layoff. So even if the layoff is, maybe 1% probability or chance, you'll get the warn notice. So what CarePoint did to make sure that they effectuated the 90 days, they gave a notice, I believe this was Thursday, and it was all employees at the Bayonne Medical Center, Christ Hospital, and Hoboken University Medical Center. So that's 859, 843, and 900 employees respectively. And they all got the warn notice, and we've heard from CarePoint, and they've indicated that there may be no layoffs, or there could be a number of options in between. Obviously, this isn't going to be effectuated for 90 days. In this case, that means December 12th, so we're going to keep our eye on that. And I spoke to a number of other electeds. The other that came out strong against a bankruptcy possibility is State Senator Raj Mukherjee. Of course, he represents Wards C, D, and E in Jersey City and all of Hoboken. He said, "I'm deeply concerned about CarePoint moving rapidly toward a bankruptcy filing without exhausting all its potential M&A options, especially with another hospital still at the table and reportedly willing to provide bridge financing. Labor leaders representing the workforce have no information. The board has scant information. It's a mess. We all need to step up and support this critical safety net health system and the vulnerable patient population it serves." Now, back in January, I'm sure you guys remember Hudson Regional Hospital and CarePoint looked like they were going to team up after over 2 years of litigation, basically arch rivals. They were going to do Hudson Health System, and this was a plan that Fulop had been a critical part of. And around that time, the New Jersey Department of Health appointed a financial monitor. Obviously, we were starting to get a good idea back then that the finances were not in great shape. And, just in case that wasn't clear enough, this came soon after CarePoint announced that they would need $130 million in state funding to continue operating at an optimal pace. And now we're not really sure where that stands, but remember, that matter's still in litigation. HRH suing CarePoint, claiming that they're in breach. And I'm assuming all options are on the table, but there's a lot of things that are still being worked out, and we're probably going to hear countless rumors between now and December. So all I can say is keep your eyes and ears peeled, and we'll do the best to bring you the latest as it comes in. Something that I will be reporting on this afternoon, but I will report first on this program, is that a board member for Jersey City has stepped down. So in place of him will be none other than Mayor Stephen Fulop. So with that, let's jump to the next topic. So something that got a ton of traffic on Friday and still had some conversations going on Monday is that, as I mentioned again at the top of the program, Ocean County Republican Chair George Gilmore will be a co-host for a Bayville fundraiser for Jersey City mayoral hopeful Jim McGreevey, of course, the former governor, and he's also been the Woodbridge mayor, a state assemblyman, and a state senator. Mind you, this race is not till November 4th, 2025, and it's a nonpartisan contest. And also, McGreevey is way ahead in fundraising to date. He's at just under 1.8 million, and he's just under 1.3 million cash on hand, according to his second quarter finance reports filed with the New Jersey Election Law Enforcement Commission. Now, we haven't seen too much about how this came together. And when I spoke to McGreevey, he said, "I've known George for over 20 years, and he wanted to be helpful." And he said, "I've just found that my political philosophy and progressive values in my political life and my work as a private citizen welcomes the support of individuals throughout the political spectrum while respecting and honoring those values which are central to my core." Now, I talked to a few political gadflies on this, one being Seton Hall University political science professor Matthew Hale. He's also a Highland Park councilman. And, well, I think his comments speak for itself. I am guessing the entry music to the event will be Bob Marley's Redemption song. Gilmore and McGreevey share the experience of having incredible power, having that power taken away from them for doing stupid things and then fighting to get it back. Most people quit politics after doing the stupid stuff. They probably bonded over hopes for second chances. Gilmore and McGreevey are also part of an older generation of New Jersey politicians that can look past almost any transgression if the current transaction makes sense to both parties. Of course, McGreevey resigned 2 decades ago after revealing that he was in fact a gay American and was having an extramarital affair with a man, and this is his first attempt at public office since then. So folks, we're going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to be sitting down with Journal Square Community Association President Tom Zuppa. We'll be back in a jiffy.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View live at Uncut. John Arhitis, and today, as I mentioned earlier, I'm joined with JSQA Community Association President Tom Zuppa. Tom, great to see you again.
John, thanks for having me.
Anytime. So, I mean, certainly the biggest issue right now in JSQA is the Centre Pompidou. You know, we know that the City Council approved it on first reading, 6-2-1. And, I mean, the conversations are robust, and you'll be hosting one yourself on Saturday. So, let's just start broadly. Like, what do you think of this project and the benefits, or not, that it brings to the neighborhood in Square?
Yeah, John, every major issue we have in Jersey City comes down to 3 things: enforceability, accountability, and transparency. So take the Pompidou, for example. The information that we had available came from Mayor Phillips' office and from his op-ed that he put out in Hudson County View. It came the Friday before a Wednesday council meeting. And you know, obviously there's a lot of information that we don't have yet, including excuse me, misinformation going out. But you come to expect that when we have so little time as a community to get the facts and form an opinion. So as you alluded to, we are hosting, as the JSQA Community Association, a meeting with Mayor Phillip on Saturday, the 21st at 11 a.m. It's at the Hudson County Community College Student Center, located at 81 Sip Avenue, 2nd floor. All are welcome. The mayor is going to present his vision for the Pompidou, or for the cultural space in Journal Square. We'll have some questions from our membership, and then, of course, to open it up to the public. You know, with a project of this magnitude, more information out first is better. So we, you know, even though we have some limited time to address these concerns and the concerns from our community, we'll do our best to get the information out on Saturday. We have a survey going out to our membership now. I went out this morning. We'll get a sense of where the community's at and go from there.
Certainly.
Yeah, and personally, my concern is, you know, as an association, we've focused heavily in the last few months and the last few years on the lack of affordability in Journal Square. And you know, if you're going to have a pilot and a tax abatement, usually, you know, we as an association would be in favor of that, or not take such a position against it when we have affordable housing mandated as part of it. And union labor as part of the deal, and we have none of that. We don't have any affordable units going up for the Pompidou.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, painting in broad strokes, like you said, it's a very big project, but I guess in a couple sentences, this was going to have $24 million coming from the state when it was at the Pat Side building. Obviously, Governor Murphy and Mayor Phillip had their falling out over the Senate race. Yeah. We've talked about that in excruciating detail, I think. And now it's going to be at 808 Pavonia Ave, and we have KRE Group have this tax break in front of them. So 2 things for you, and the first one, so where does the community association as a whole stand on this project?
We haven't taken a position as a community association yet, and that's out of fairness to Mayor Phillip to give an opportunity for him to present to the community. Again, I am concerned that at least the council members, assuming our councilman as well, were notified weeks ago of this project, and the community meeting should have been held earlier. That's not solely on Mayor Phillip, obviously, because we have a local councilman who could have held some meetings. But we're going to wait to see what's presented. And again, given the issues that are there, what's the benefit to the local resident? I step out my door, I walk my dog every night, I see the issues we have to address. And if, in terms of the priority levels of what we're lacking in Journal Square and as Ward C and as a city as a whole, I'm not sure a French art museum is towards the top of the list. But I recognize the importance of having a transformative project for the neighborhood. And so, again, we do want to see the details. I think it was the redevelopment attorney referenced Harrison and the Red Bull Stadium and some of the pushback the community had back then. This is, apples and oranges or something, right. Apples and potatoes, dealing with soccer, which is a tremendously popular sport, and the revenue generated to the community in Harrison compared to what may be a more limited resource specifically for our residents. I know tourists will love it, and we'll have the art community, which is split on the project as is, enjoying it, but how much of that's going to be beneficial to the people in Journal Square?
Sure. Now I get the sense that you already answered it, but I'm still going to ask just in case. So if you were sitting on the dais next Wednesday and you had to vote on second reading for this tax break, 30 years, what would you do? Yeah,
to the tax break itself, I don't think I'd vote yes on that, not without affordable housing. I understand the bigger benefit is getting this cultural institution in Journal Square, but if I have the same amount of information I have now as a council person, which is not knowing what the budget's going to be, what subsidies are available, and essentially how much is going to cost the taxpayer, not next year, 2 years, but in 5 years and further, I would have my concerns. And what can't be addressed right now is the Pompidou even coming to that space? That's a fair question for the residents to be aware of. And again, I anticipate Mayor Phillip will provide a response to that on Saturday. Yes, okay. And on a small clerical point, so what should I be calling you? A council candidate, a likely council candidate, a soon-to-be council candidate? You just call me a community advocate right now. It's obviously 2025 is looming large. Some of the mayoral candidates came out early, and I would say it's early to announce, but it's not early to do the work in the community. So my civic association has a board that's been operating for essentially since 2021. Serving families, senior citizens, and children in need in the community. So whether we make that jump to run for council for 2025, make the decision in a few weeks or a year, that work's been going on for 4 years, and I'm proud of that. Very good, Tom. Folks, don't go anywhere. Tom, certainly don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back after this break.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View live at Uncut. John Arhitis, and I'm still here with Journal Square Community Association President Tom Zuppa. So Tom, prior to the Pompidou basically eating up all the oxygen for Jersey City government and politics, you were talking about this affordable housing proposal that had been going on for a few years actually, and the council ultimately approved it after the planning board gave their approval. And you've been vocal this whole time that you're not happy with the outcome. And could you just reiterate for anyone who may have missed it or forgot how we ended up here and why you feel the way that you do?
Yeah, sure. So the Gerald Square Community Association's Affordable Housing Task Force has been working with Councilman Bajian's office, the city planning department for years, the last 2 years, trying to get something that requires mandatory affordable housing in the redevelopment zone, which covers just Journal Square. So it doesn't affect the Heights, doesn't affect Marion, doesn't affect McGinley Square, just portions of within the Journal Square redevelopment plan. And that 2-year partnership resulted in the first reading being approved, where we're going to have zone-wide mandatory affordable housing for units, for new developments, 30 or more units, giving at least 10 to 15% affordable housing. And I don't have to tell you or your listeners and your viewers, Jersey City is quickly becoming an unaffordable city, one of the most unaffordable cities in the country. And Journal Square is its fastest growing neighborhood.
Sure.
And the number one issue we hear from residents, not only in Journal Square but throughout the city, is lack of affordability. And so the Journal Square Association the Community Association took efforts to address that. And what we were left with is what the council itself described as quote unquote baby steps. And we had asked the council to give us more time to present a better plan to alleviate some of the councilman's concerns, because as is, it's the first of its kind in the city in the sense of mandating affordable housing. So we can hold developers accountable, mandating affordable housing, but we also protect 1 to 2 family homes by limiting the lot size that this ordinance applies to. And this is something we're going to keep working on, but as we alluded to it a bit before the last segment, it may take the 2025 election to change what we can get. Right as it stands right now, 26% in terms of area of Journal Square is covered by the ordinance that the council voted on, but only 10% of that has affordable, has developable land. So the other 76% of Journal Square, for new developments, I'm sad to say, based on the city council's vote, you're going to be left without affordable housing for those new developments.
So there's not much from an operational standpoint, I guess I could say, governmental, of course, but you're going to have to amend the ordinance. There's not much else that can be done, right?
Right. I mean, the number one priority, I think, for the next administration, if it doesn't come before November of 2025, would be to amend again the affordable housing ordinance and amend the redevelopment plan to cover the other part of Journal Square. Like I said, we can protect 1 to 2 family homes, because right now they're not protected. 2 recent proposals, there's 2,000 units on Baldwin Avenue. Under the plan that Journal Square Community Association had advocated for, 10 to 15% of that would be reserved for affordable housing. And in some of the communities which are District 4, which would be more residential neighborhoods, you're seeing 67-unit buildings go up without a single affordable unit.
Got it.
So we're not doing anything to protect our local residents.
So on that point, in the event you are on the ballot next year, and I would bet a large sum of money you are, what could you bring to Ward C, and why do you think it would be a different result than last time?
Yeah, I learned a lot of valuable lessons between last election and now. Someone said I was too nice. It might have been you, actually, who said that. And I'll continue to be. One thing I pride myself on is what I say is genuine. I believe what I say. I believe what I'm saying in terms of my position on issues. But perhaps I was looking for the most perfect way to say it. Now we're just going to say it a lot more directly. And again, perhaps more so than last election, this one's really going to turn on record. If you've been in office for 3 terms, what can you show to the community other than pointing out problems and not finding those solutions? And if you want to run or have run before, we haven't seen you in 3 years, but where have you been? Again, I'm proud to say that I answer constituent concerns now as an unelected individual, give legal guidance, connect people with needed services, specifically people looking for landlord-tenant advice. There's a lot of great resources in the city that we help out with. And just provide those services for families and children.
And just real quick, we're short on time, but anything you want to just quickly jump on, whether that be Bergen Square Tree, Apple Tree Museum, anything that, has been eaten up by the affordable housing and Pompidou projects? There's
a lot of great things going on in Journal Square, and rightfully so. We have the attention of the city for what happens next. And now more than ever is the time when you want a vision for the future. And that's something where you're taking in all the stakeholders together, addressing the major issues, affordability, public transit, These are simple bread and butter issues. Someone should be able to get from point A to point B safely, without any fear of being hit by a car, being unsafely riding your bicycle, or walking on the sidewalk. We can do it all, but we really just need to have a vision for it.
Very good. Tom, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
John.
Always a pleasure to have you. Good luck on Saturday. I have a feeling you're going to need it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Could do it without you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So a few more to get through. Let's talk about this lawsuit out of, believe it or not, Secaucus, a place that we very, very rarely talk about unless it's about the police doing good police work. But this time, something completely different. So if you guys missed it last night, a lawsuit was filed on September 11th by a former part-time laborer and driver for the Secaucus Department of Public Works. And he is alleging in this lawsuit that he was told to man the F up, among other things that included homophobic slurs, and his superiors did nothing about it, on top of not accommodating him for work-related injuries where he wasn't supposed to be lifting or pulling heavy weight. So there is a lot in there, considering it's a relatively short lawsuit. But Craig O'Keefe, who was hired in 2008, filed a 6-count lawsuit at Hudson County Superior Court, and he's alleging discrimination, retaliation, a hostile work environment, and disability discrimination ever since getting hurt on the job in August 2019. And there's a lot of language here that I cannot say on a family-friendly program, but the names he was called had a lot to do with the female anatomy. How about that? And he was also told to stop being a little girl, and as I already said, man the F up, and he was said this, use your imagination, can't do this detail, and all he's going to do is expletive and complain. Look at this little expletive walking around acting as if he's really injured. I think you get the picture. So through his attorney, Evan Goldman, apartment at the Hackensack-based firm Goldman, Davis, Krumholtz, and Dillon, PC, O'Keefe says he tore his left rotator cuff and his right rotator cuff in separate injuries sustained while working in 2020, 2021. Both required surgery. And he then required another surgery because in February 22, he asked to be put on desk duty and he had a doctor's note, but it wasn't basically honored or recognized. And so he left for the day and he ended up using sick, vacation, and personal time all the way through May of 22. And then he needed another surgery, and then there was a subsequent surgery on his elbow. So clearly not a very fun couple of years for this gentleman. And then he said in August 22, he came back, his arm was in a sling. He got a doctor's note saying he can't use his left arm. Again, he insists that his requests were not honored. And long story short, he ended up getting fired in August 2023. And bottom line is, Secaucus Town Administrator Gary Jeffis declined to comment on the specifics of the suit, but said they dispute the allegations made. So we're going to leave it there for now, folks. We're going to keep an eye on this and see where it goes. Now, two pretty unusual incidents in Bayonne yesterday. One started at about, 12:18 in the morning, and there was a 911 call where officers from the Bayonne Police Department responded to an apartment building on Broadway, and this was in the vicinity of Linnet Street. And the 911 caller reported hearing a lot of screaming coming from the apartment and indicated it was concerning. And responding officers approached the apartment and heard yelling coming from inside. Officers encountered the man who had been yelling and requested medical assistance. They restrained him so medical personnel could transport him to the Bayonne Medical Center, and he was pronounced dead yesterday at 8:44 a.m. The cause and manner of death are under investigation, and his identity has not been released. This is a matter that is under investigation by the New Jersey Attorney General's Office of Public Integrity and Accountability. That's something that's been online, you could say, since 2021. And this is the fourth time the AG is investigating an incident in Bayonne since October 2022. In all those three previous incidents, a state grand jury declined to charge any of the Bayonne police officers involved. Now, also in the Peninsula City, the Hudson County Regional Arson Task Force is looking into a one-alarm blaze yesterday that left a man in critical but stable condition. And interestingly, the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office didn't say a whole heck of a lot about what happened, other than they respond to an apartment fire at approximately 5:20 yesterday. And, there was a fire in the basement of a residential building. The 56-year-old man was located with serious injuries before being transported to EMS to Cooperman Barnabas Medical Center in Livingston. However, the one detail that I found interesting was that Bayonne Deputy Fire Chief Bill Bartos said in his own statement that they responded to this address, 167 West 9th Street, on a report of an explosion and smoke coming from the basement. So it's a little unclear what's going on there. Obviously, it looks like some sort of homemade explosive, but we don't want to speculate, of course, so we're going to keep our eyes and ears on that, just like anything else. Now, another one from the HCPO, a man that's been described on a website that was created by a couple that he allegedly did some shoddy work for, is called a shady contractor on that website, has been charged with theft by deception and 2 counts of forgery. This is Prince Nareg of Glenridge, and he owned a construction business and Artisan Design and Construction. They were performing work on a residential building, and he allegedly submitted a fraudulent certificate of occupancy to the property owner and begged to abstain a construction contract. And this left the couple on the hook for a number of charges. Read the article for further details, folks. We're very short on time, but very quickly. I'm talking about Jersey City Construction at Wednesday's council meeting. Of course, well, that was 1 week ago. Jersey City Council delayed a vote to dissolve the Construction Appeals Board. This is something that was put up by Ward B Councilwoman Mira Prinzari. She said the Construction Board of Appeals had a meeting that day earlier, prior to the council meeting, and they changed their leadership. And so they're just asking for 2 weeks to take a look at what's going on. And we heard from Chris Capers, a member of LUNA Local 3, who lives in Ward F, and he didn't pull any punches. He said, while serving as the chair of the Board of Construction Appeals, Sunny Kumar, the former chair, allowed workers to be underpaid, overworked, and exposed to dangerous conditions on his job sites. And he's calling on the council, as is the whole LUNA organization, that labor union, to do more. So with that, folks, we're going to call it a day. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.